Good morning students, this is Dinesh Mehbubani. Welcome to the lecture series of Effective Technical Communication. Till now in chapter number 2 we have completed technical writing, like different C's of writing we have studied. Then we studied about the technical proposals, then we studied about the technical reports, then technical description. After that we studied different types of business letters in the last lecture. There are various types of business letters, and we also studied about the format of how to write the business letter. Okay, after that there are different purposes of writing the business letters, and we have also studied one example of complaint letter. Okay, so this was about the business letters. Today it is the last lecture of this chapter, technical writing. In this lecture we are going to study about the minutes of meeting, agenda of meeting, and we are also going to study about resume writing. Okay, so let us start from agenda of meeting. Okay, first of all, what is the meaning of agenda? Agenda is a list of topics that is to be given along with the notice of the meeting. For example, if I am going to conduct any meeting, okay, the main purpose of arranging the meeting, the main purpose of conducting the meeting is known as agenda. So before conducting the meeting, for example, my meeting is after 3 to 4 days, I will make an agenda in which I will mention all the topics that we have to discuss in the meeting, okay, so that the meeting becomes effective. Okay, so agenda is an important tool that ensures the success of any meeting in an organization. Okay, the agenda also consists of the time limits. For example, my meeting time is from 3 to 4. Okay, so what I will do, I will divide the whole meeting in different time slots. For example, my topic is the role of startups in the chemical engineering. So what I will do, I will divide the whole time slot, the 1 hour time slot, in different time slot, and I will decide that from 3 to 3:15 you have to do this. After 3:15 to 3:30 we will discuss this topic. So if the agenda is fixed, okay, if the agenda is fixed, then meeting can be effective, okay, and the time slot is also given to each and every subtopic of the agenda, right? And it is always sent along with the notice of the meeting. For example, I am sending the notice that, on this day we are going to conduct the meeting, then I will also send the time slot and agenda of the meeting. Okay, what are the basic needs of conducting a meeting? The meetings are basically conducted in an organization to solve the issues, to brainstorm the new ideas if you want to launch any new product, new process. For that purpose we are conducting meeting, right? Then giving instructions, then taking suggestions. These are the some parts of the meeting, right? Okay, what are the advantages of well written agenda? If our agenda is well written, then it will help the convener to know what needs to be accomplished out of each topic. Each and every topic of the agenda will give some outputs. Okay, so the attendees, the meeting attendees should know that what is the main purpose of conducting this meeting, right? If sent in advance, the participants are well prepared, what is expected from them, in which in turn saves time. For example, I am going to attend one meeting. I am already knowing the agenda, that these are the points that are going to discuss, so I can decide, or if I want to give any inputs to the who is conducting the meeting, then the meeting will follow the same flow. The meeting will follow the same flow. Okay, so the time will also be saved because the meeting will not be distracted. Each and everybody will talk about the same topic that has been given in the agenda. Okay, so the meeting will not go out of track. Agenda is already fixed. Okay, it will also act as a roadmap for the smooth conduction of the meeting. Meeting will be smoothly conducted and it will be completed within time. Okay, if the agenda is floated in advance, if we know that the meeting is going to conduct for this particular topic, then what we will do, if some points are not there in the agenda, if I want to add some points in that agenda, then I will suggest the main host of the meeting that you can add these points, because we are getting the agenda points well in advance. Okay, so in this way, if we are having a good well written agenda, then the meeting can be smoothly conducted. Okay, so this is about the agenda of meeting. See, agenda of meeting and the minutes of meeting both are almost same. After conducting the meeting, a short description of meeting is known as the minutes of meeting. It is a letter or it is a detailed record of meeting, including the main points of the meeting, whichever points are discussed in the meeting, and what are the conclusions. Each and everything is written in the minutes of meeting. So in short, the 1 hour meeting is written in form of one page. Okay, in form of one page, that is known as minutes of meeting, in which each and everything is mentioned, like who were the participants, what was the time of the meeting, who attended the meeting, what was the discussion about, which were the main topics, and what was the conclusion of the meeting. Okay, it will also act as a guidance for future actions and decisions. Okay, it will also act as proof, as an official record of the meeting of the organization. Okay, some organizations are conducting different types of meetings, right? So all that minutes of meetings are recorded and they are kept as an on paper official record. If anybody wants any type of data from the previous meetings, then by just seeing the minutes of meeting, they can easily get to know that this meeting was conducted at this place. Okay, this was the venue, this was the time, this was the topic. So each and every data, if it is official, if it is on paper, then you can get the previous data as well from the minutes of meeting. Okay, so this was about agenda of meeting and minutes of meeting. Basically, these two topics are being asked in the exam together. Fine. Okay, let's move on to the last topic of this chapter, resume writing. What is a resume? Resume is a document that is created and used by a person to present their background, skills and accomplishments. What is your educational background? What are your technical skills? What you have accomplished till now? These all are written in the resume, so it is one document. Basically, there are variety of reasons to write the resume, but most of the people are writing the resume to get a new employment, to get a new job. Okay, so this is the main purpose of writing the resume. Okay, the resume should be written in a very effective manner, right? It is not like you have to just write one page, A4 size page, and each and everything is mentioned. There is a particular format of writing the resume. Okay, so it should be very effective such that the job seeking process become fast. The recruiter gets attracted if you are highlighting some points on your resume, right? So if the recruiter will just look at your resume, and he will be impressed, he or she will be impressed, and job seeking process will be easy, okay, and fast. So these are some of the reasons and some of the features of the resume. Now we are going to study about the format of writing the resume. Okay, see, basically different people in different countries for different posts are writing resume in different manner, but there is a particular method, particular standard format of writing the resume that we will discuss here. See, first of all, you have to mention your name. Okay, you have to write your full name. Then you have to mention your email ID. Email ID should look professional. It should not like be iamforyou.com, angelforyou.com. You don't use this type of words, okay, these type of email IDs. You have to write professional email ID, right? Then contact number. See, each and every individual is not writing in the same manner. As I told you before, there are various methods of writing these all things. but these things should be included, right? Then this one is very much important, career objective. In career objective, you have to mention yourself, your positive skills, your positive qualities in the career objective. For example, you can write, I am a hardworking and result-oriented individual that want to work in challenging environment to fulfill personal as well as my professional goals. This is one type of example of career objective. There are various sentences that are used for career objective. Okay. Then you have to show your academic qualifications. Academic qualifications in the sense you have to write in a reverse chronological order. Now, what is the meaning of reverse chronological order? In reverse chronological order, you have to write in a time manner, but in a reverse form. Means the latest incident, the latest degree you have to write first. Okay, for example, you have completed your master degree in 2018, then you have to first of all mention 2018 master degree, 2016 bachelor's degree, then 2012 HSC, 2010 SSC. So it is always written in the reverse chronological order. Chronological means it is related with time, okay, but reverse means you are writing the latest qualification first. Okay, this is for the persons who are already working somewhere. You have to mention the work experience. The work experience is also mentioned in the reverse chronological order. Okay, then you have to write the projects undertaken. You have to write all the projects that you have prepared, you have made during your studies. Okay, you have to also mention the duration, like it is 1 year or 6 months. Okay, then you have to write the workshops or seminars attended. You have to also mention the month and the year of attending that seminars. Technical skills, if you are having any particular technical skills, if you are knowing any type of softwares related with chemical engineering or any other branch, then you have to mention here. Then you have to write the personal profile. In personal profile, you have to write your hobbies, then you have to write your interest, okay, your marital status. Each and everything is to be written in the personal profile. Then you have to write the declaration. In declaration, you are mentioning that the above information that is given is true as per my knowledge. Signature, then you have to sign. Okay, you have to write your name and then you have to sign. Okay, so this is about the standard format of writing the resume. I will give you one sample resume. I will give one sample resume in the next video so that you can understand that how we can write a resume. Okay. Okay, students, let us see one sample resume format. First of all, as you can see on your screen, the candidate's name has been mentioned. Besides the name, address and the contact number and the email ID is mentioned. Okay, then comes the career objective. What do you mean by career objective? You have to mention about you, about the positive aspects of yourself in one paragraph. Okay, that is known as career objective. Here, what is written here? See, you can see what is written here. To obtain a position that will enable me to use my strong organizational skills, good educational background, groom presentation skills, and ability to work well with people so as to contribute to the organization for its wellness and development. See, this is a brief introduction of your positive things, right? That is known as career objective. Then education. The education is shown here. It is written in the reverse chronological order. So latest you have to write first. 2018, then 2016, 12, 10. See, this is a proper format. Many people are writing in different ways, but you have to maintain this format. It is a, okay, you can see here ME chemical, then BE chemical, HSC, SSC. Then after comes the technical skills. Instead of technical skills, you can also write the project first and then you can write the technical skills. Projects undertaken, you have to give brief introduction of the project that you have completed. You have to also mention the duration. Okay, for example, if in BE 7th and 8th semester you are doing one project, so the duration will be 1 year. In masters also the project duration is 1 year. Then if you are having any type of achievements and awards, then you have to mention here. Then industrial exposure means if you have taken any internship, if you are going for any internship, then you have taken any training, then you have to mention it over here. After that, activities, okay, interest, area of interest, then personal strengths, personal profile. In personal profile, you have to mention your date of birth, marital status, you have to also mention hobbies, then your nationality, then the languages that you know. Okay. Then comes the declaration. Declaration means you have to make sure that you have to ensure that the above information is complete and true as per my knowledge. And then at last you have to write your name and you have to sign it on, sign it above your name. Okay. So this was the sample resume. In your exercise also you have to make your own resume. Okay, so this was about the resume writing. Here we complete our chapter number 2, technical writing. From next lecture we will start new chapter, chapter number 3, that is technical communication. Till then, have a good day.